This is Tim, and I'm Robin, and this is us having no clue what we're doing. But we're doing it anyways, and it starts with us selling our house and buying a van.
Alright, so we decided to make this video just to better explain what we did and our window installation processes. Basically, we started on this window, the passenger side. It took a little bit longer than expected, like most projects do, and we ended up finishing it up pretty late at night. As you see in the past videos that you've watched, it got a little dark on us. Then the next morning, we basically started on the driver's side window. So we had not water tested this window, and then we went ahead and started on this window.
Putting our second window in today. We're going to do things a little bit differently from what we did on that window. There are other ways or things that we might have changed about what we did on that one. So we're going to do this window today, and we'll let you know which method we like better.
So we're kind of in the middle of trying to decide whether we want to cut from the inside like we did that window, or we did trace out a template to cut from the outside if we wanted to do that. My only fear with cutting from the outside is if I do get off track or this was out of line, then I could cut into the support of the van up here. And when the saw is going, there's really no way for Robin to get my attention to tell me that I'm off track or anything like that. So, but we'll see how it goes.
We decided to take the supports out first this time.
It definitely was a little bit more aggressive and chipped it up, but we'll just file that down after we get it out. But it was definitely, I did a more straight line with the angle grinder than I did with the jigsaw.
This time, Tim drilled 2 holes in each corner, and then we're gonna take a punch and just go that way that we can do the corners from the outside, and it's a little bit easier, hopefully. Can you see anything? Am I doing anything?
So I definitely would not recommend using any of these blades here. They are metal cutting, but I liked the Bosch blades a lot better. We can leave a link in the description below. I also really liked drilling the 2 holes in the corner and then tapping it out and cutting the corners out from outside of the van instead of inside the van. The supports inside the van make it really difficult to make that turn with the jigsaw from the inside, and doing it from the outside is just so much easier. Make sure that you go full throttle when you're cutting. Don't go partial or anything like that. It just cuts so much smoother. Full throttle. Also wait till the blade completely stops before pulling it out in between the 2 metals, because if the blade's still moving, it can jump around.
I got it, yeah. Whew! Metal shavings in the face.
This is my brother Thomas.
Telephone. What's up, phone? Mr. TV. Hello. Are you looking at it?
Trying to. It's very hard.
Yeah. Is it recording?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello,
And this is my other brother, Harrison.
and I'm helping Robin and I'm making the fan. This fan. I'm in your ready. Please click, subscribe, like this button.
Today we are water testing window number 2, which we're nervous about. Window number 1 did not go so well, so fingers crossed today at least that window might be sealed.
It please guys be a below a bar, okay? 2, 1, go! Oh, Robin.
Georgia can't make up its mind on how cold or warm it wants to be. Today, cold. Alright, just to reiterate, we are not professionals. We don't know what we're doing. We made some mistakes, but it's okay. So we've installed the passenger and the driver's side window, as you guys have seen already. We did water test it, and fortunately, there are leaks. So we did passenger side,
We did passenger side
passenger side first, and then when we water tested, there's a ton of leakage all along the top. And then we did the driver's side second while the passenger side was drying. This one was a little bit better. There's just a small amount of leakage on the corner of this window right over there.
After we found out that both of them were leaking, we did a little bit of research online, couldn't find anyone with the same issue
Just
other
to
than
see if anybody else messed it up like we did.
Yeah, we found one person who did, and it looked like they didn't get the good triangle seal either. They did use a lot more adhesive than we did. We only used 1 tube when it came with 2 tubes per window. The one video that we did find online, they ended up taking their van to professionals. Professionals took the window off and redid it for them. So at first we were planning on just buying the tool to take the windows off and just redoing it is what our first plan was. But we decided that we might as well just go ahead and reach out to Van Windows Direct and see what they had to say.
Yeah, and they were awesome. So I emailed them, actually I think it was over the weekend, and they immediately got back to us. They did say that maybe, or they did say we should have used both of the tubes rather than just the one, and how it could have spread a little bit thin on certain areas because we only used 1 tube. And we are saying a lot about the triangle shape, just because I do think it's actually more important than it seems like it's been made out to be. I think you should try and achieve that nice shape, because when you press that window on, it just grabs it a whole lot easier than if you were to just glob it on there or bead it on there.
Also, what I would say if I was to do it again, we went really close, so window to paint here, and there is a gap at the top. I would probably even that gap out more, or maybe put the bulk of the gap down here, because that's where I ran into the issue when I was putting on the adhesive. There wasn't enough surface space on the top that I felt like I could put 2 lines of adhesive. I only felt like I could put 1, and if the window was pushed up a little bit more, I feel like I could have maybe gotten 2 lines of adhesive, and it sounds like that's the goal, is you want at least a double line of adhesive going all the way around. Van Windows Direct was really quick to getting back to us. They recommended getting some flowable silicone. They sent us an Amazon link for this stuff, but unfortunately, Amazon was going to take a little bit longer than what we wanted to ship it, so we just ran to O'Reilly's and I bought every tube they had, which was only 4 tubes, and I figured I could just take back whatever we didn't use, but we will try and use all of it probably.
Yeah, and what he suggested is to a couple things. First thing he said was to go ahead and try this solution, put it on there, let it cure, and then after 24 hours water test it again. If that fails, then we will have to take the window off and we'll just start again.
But we're hoping that doesn't fail.
Yeah.
We are hoping this is the solution.
I think it will be.
Really don't want to take off the window. If we do have to take off the window, we'll probably attempt to do it ourselves. So y'all can look forward to that video, but hopefully we won't have to be making it. Also, we really wanted to make this video just to show everybody on YouTube and maybe even on Instagram that, you know, building a van yourself does not go smoothly. You know, we see these Instagram reels of people doing it in like 15 seconds on a reel in hyperlapse, and it's just not that easy.
Mistakes happen.
You're gonna make mistakes. Try not to get down. You know, I was a little disappointed that it didn't work out the first time, but on another note, we totally expected there to be mistakes. There's going to be mistakes. We will figure out a way to make it right, and we'll learn from every mistake. We're making this video in hopes that you will learn from our mistakes and not make the same.
Yeah, and if mistakes happen, there's always a solution. So we weren't too worried about it. If we had to take it to somewhere to get it done, that would have been probably the worst case scenario. But I mean, it wouldn't mean that we'd have to give up the van. So we're going to try and do everything we can ourselves just to make it work, and we'll let you guys know as we do it along the way.
All right, here it goes. Using that liquid adhesive that I picked up from O'Reilly's, and that solved the issue with the driver's side leaking. So our process for doing the driver's side window was a lot better. We didn't really do too much different. I think that I just was a little bit better at getting a thicker amount of adhesive on this driver's side, and I think I also got more of that triangular shape on the driver's side than I did the passenger side. So with the liquid adhesive not solving our problem, we did end up having to take the window off.
Okay, we're just going for it.
Not happy. This is a pain to get on.
But it might be easier to get back on now that it's kind of...
Ooh, look, your adhesive. And at least it's cut to length now.
Yeah.
Alright, so these are the pieces and parts that come with the window removal tool. I figured I'd make this video just to show y'all a little bit more in depth of how this tool works, in hopes that if you do have to use it, which hopefully you don't, that this video might help you figure out how to get your window off. So you get a whole bunch of cord here. It's a ridiculous amount, 72 feet of it. We only used 3 feet. So you basically pull off whatever you need, which we used about 3 feet. First you take this knife-like tool here. It has a little slit in it, as you can see there. You stab through the adhesive, so in between the window and the van, until it sticks out the other side, and then you pull it back out, put that onto there, and it actually came with a little rubber piece that kind of holds this wire in place, which has fallen off and is lost somewhere now, but you could also just take some tape and tape that wire to it, shove it through. Somebody on the outside of the van then takes this, runs it through the little hole here, and it sticks out just like that. You then take it and go through that hole, sticking out the other side, and then this pulls up and kind of holds it onto it tightly. That way it's not going anywhere. You do that on both sides. So one person on the outside of the van has this one, and then you do the same thing for the person on the inside of the van holding this one, and then you bring it back and forth like I mentioned in the video, kind of like a saw, just sawing through that adhesive that's holding the window on.
Oh, you're supposed to take it off anyways. Why can't we use this thing all around?
Good.
Pretty sharp.
Huh?
So it's pretty sharp. Okay.
Alright, going down.
So I'm just gonna go like along the window. I guess it's up to you to figure out if you're too close or too far from the paint.
Okay. It does, yep. It's kind of hard to tell in the videos, but on the outside of the van there is like this lip underneath the window, and we mounted our windows pretty much right on top of that. So you'll notice in the video of me taking it off that we weren't using this tool for the bottom, because when you pass the wire through, I noticed they would most likely rub on the paint, and I didn't want to scratch the paint on the outside. So I basically took a putty knife and just stabbed my way through all the adhesive on the bottom, and that ended up working to take it off.
Gap, 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 gap. Do you think it was a good idea for us to take it off?
Take off the window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that glue that we went,
Liquid adhesive.
yeah, the liquid adhesive we added after.
We want it level. What do you want?
to push the window more into a centered position so that there was a bit of space on the bottom and the top so that the window isn't actually resting on that little lip Tim mentioned, touching the paint. So we got a little bit creative, folded up some cardboard and stuck it in there so while it's drying it doesn't slide down and sit on the paint. Water test number 2. Gosh, it's not liquor. Alright, so both windows are good now. The only thing is with the passenger side window, the one we had to take off entirely and then put it right back on. We just found a small little bit of light coming through on the bottom right portion of it. So of course we use the liquid silicone, flowable silicone stuff, and it worked. So I just cut the tip off and then I just slid it right along this portion where we could kind of see the light coming through. It was all the way around. You can kind of see, I mean this one is kind of dirty, but you can kind of see where it's sitting there. So it didn't go down, which is a good sign. That means that we do have a nice seal. And I'm not too worried about being able to see that because we're obviously going to build up around this area. And so it'll dry like that. And other than that, I'd say this window is a success.